in the pool. It might be just wet from the pool. I was just in the pool.
You were taking a dip?
Yep.
And a dip.
All right, everybody.
Everybody.
Need somebody. Yeah, sorry guys, I meant to tell you, this entire 4th of July A3K podcast, we're just going to sing Blues Brothers, because we got to celebrate America, not anime.
I may do the speech from the President and Independence Day, but later, not right now, because I still have to do the intro, and welcome you all to the A3K podcast, powered by the fine folks at Anime3000.com. The future of anime and manga shall unfold before your very eyes. I'm David Majors. I'm hosting the A3K podcast this week from Anime Midwest at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. My co-host, Jack D., joins us as always.
Hello.
What's up, Jack?
Howdy.
I'll tell you what's up, my win-loss ratio, yes! More on
The
that
champ
later.
is here!
The champ! At a thing that didn't stream, so it's more like Pixar, it didn't happen, and I'm sad. But it happened. It did happen.
It's Twitter hashtag confirmed.
Twitter hashtag confirmed.
That you actually won a fighting game tournament. So in which case, you have full authorization to tell people to get good.
Get good, scrub. I would have said that anyway, even when I'm playing Mario Kart. That's how I roll.
Yes.
Get good, Blue Shell! God damn it.
One guy that I know is good at podcasting, from Hallyu over at rebelli.net, your friend and mine, PD Rave. What's up, PD Rave?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing good. I'm wearing a kigurumi that I bought at Florida SuperCon. I'm a hedgehog. Look at me.
Oh, it's a hedgehog. I thought it was a panda. I'm animal blind. I'm mammal blind.
The Kigurumi-clad PD Rave. Now, since you are a hedgehog, I have to ask, do you gotta go fast?
Yes, I do. I'm also craving a chili dog as we speak.
Are you running around at the speed of town? Do you have
not
places
at the
to go? Are you gonna follow that rainbow? Can't stick around, have to keep moving on. Guess what lies ahead? Only one way to find out.
Are you unsure of the name of your adversary, and are you now the host of a really, really terrible, glitchy Wii U game?
No,
but I have been known to be voiced by a guy who used to play the bane of every nerdy black guy's existence.
Yeah, I hear that.
No, I'm fine.
That's no good.
I'm fine, guys. I'm fine.
It's no good.
I swear I'm totally okay.
No
that
good.
does not bring up any dark triggers of my past.
It's your body. No one's allowed to touch it.
If someone tries to trigger you in a way you feel uncomfortable, that's no good.
But you know what is good? Is if all of you out there join the conversation at A3K TV on YouTube and join the conversation on the Twitters using the hashtag A3K Live. And you know what would be even better? If you do it old school long form style and send us an email, contact@anime3000.com. So let's just jump in. Big news coming from Funimation. They just dropped a whole bunch of streaming announcements, just a ton of them, like 20 different streams coming to us from Otaku USA. Funimation had big plans for the summer anime season with 20 simulcast titles. Going down the list, One Piece, Fairy Tail, Ninja Slayer, Ultimate Otaku Teacher, Legend of Arslan will continue. Hooray! Snow White and the Red Hair.
Okay, that's confusing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that right now. I mean, it's always been confusing because Disney Snow White had hair the color of ebony, and I believe Grimm's Fairy Tale was the one to start that tradition, but hey, you know, we can't have albinism. That'd be too progressive for the time of ye old Germanic tales of being pecked your eyes out.
Yes.
I want to say
Also, Bikini Warriors.
This picture, are you guys seeing this picture?
Yes.
It's quite interesting.
Well, the picture that I'm seeing happens to be five gentlemen in black and white stripes. They look to be behind bars. And in the background, there seems to be a large, glooming, let's say, well-endowed woman.
It looks like Franziska von Karma without a top.
In the words of one Dave Chappelle, damn, look at them titties!
And this guy on the far left looks a little bit like Saddam Hussein.
I would say that is this Gangsta? Is this the show Gangsta, or on this list is this Prison School?
I don't know.
You know, there was actually an anime or a manga that was pretty interesting called Lucky Dog, and it was kind of similar to this, where you had a huge group of guys, and they were in prison dress because they were in prison, and you're following the life and the misadventures of one inmate whose name was a million different words. One was Bourbon, and then another was Leo, and it was just a huge name that took up an entire speech bubble. But that one was pretty interesting because you had a bunch of characters. Unfortunately, the minimal fan base that it had is a little bit like the rabid free fan base, so I stopped reading it. But it was cool. So if you ever want to read Lucky Dogs and don't mind a little bit of the gals who are into the yaoi, I'm not one of them. I just thought it was cool and noir-like. Then read Lucky Dogs. Don't read Franziska von Karma, Al-Qaeda.
But that being said, we have some...
Along with the good, there is some not so good on this list. We're seeing a third season of Junjo Romantica, which... Why? That show is just... Speaking of...
Oh god, at least it's not Boku no Pico Season 2. We could not take that. We could not handle that.
There's also a show on this. When I saw the plot for it, I cringed. A boring world where the concepts of dirty jokes doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It is essentially a slice of life where you have your typical personality-less male anime protagonist, and it's basically Bigata A3K, which we reviewed on Nanashi, except worse. Where the girl on the show is basically a giant perv and is making all sorts of horrible jokes and filled with scantily clad women. So.
Well, David, you're saying that the world doesn't. This world that you speak of Jujo Romantica, Season 3, dirty jokes don't exist.
No, it's
I'm
actually
pretty sure they existed in Bigata HK. Pretty sure they did. I could be wrong. Maybe she was spreading her legs and putting a mirror between them to capture her own soul. Maybe it was an Inuyasha thing. I don't know.
Maybe this is the sequel to Bigata HK.
Oh God! All of a sudden, it'll be a straight couple and everyone on Tumblr.
And now that this is after Yamano got to bang 100 dudes. And now she's just looking to be like the biggest, raunchiest comic in the world.
Yes.
She's trying to be Amy Schumer. Oh my god. Now I'll hate it.
Jack D with the topical humor. I like it.
She is a train wreck, but it's not one that you can't avert your eyes from. It's very easy to avert your eyes from. Just saying. Hashtag excellent taste vindication. That's been happening all week. Not bad taste pride. That hashtag's out for this section. No. Excellent taste vindication. Amy Schumer, why do you have your own show? Just saying. I exist. I could have a show, but you do.
I apologize, Jack. I'm gonna have to bring back bad taste pride for a minute because there is a show on this list. Its first series I enjoyed thoroughly. Its second one I did not keep up with, but this season, this coming series, Aquarion Logos. Aquarion, of course, is the mech show famous for its transformation sequence where the robot pilots let's just say they really, really enjoy merging their robots. A lot.
They
A
look a little bit
lot.
like a Cirque du Soleil thing, too. It's interesting.
Like,
Majestic.
For everyone that likes to talk about food wars, well, Aquarion did that first with merging their giant robots. I mean,
For everyone.
granted, DJM is the Met guy. I love merging giant robots, but I never got that much enjoyment out of it. So I'm looking forward to Aquarion Logos because, well, even I, Mr. Pretentious Sci-Fi Anime Guy, likes to have his robots with scantily clad women having orgasms when they merge their robots.
Yes.
There you go. If you've ever been a fan of New 13 from Blaze Blue, I'll be talking about Blaze Blue a lot. Running up to Ragna the Blood Edge, her possibly, absolutely, kind of, sort of clone or brother that she's a clone of his sister, trying to merge with them to become a horrific monster of destruction, darkness, and the end of life as we know it, and time itself. You'll like Aquarion a lot. I know David does. Hashtag bad praise pride, please understand.
I don't apologize for my love of Aquarion.
No, it's okay. I'm trying not to be that dry. It just came out. It came out that way, but I have no problem with it. It's what I've seen. I've seen bits and pieces. I'm a busy gal, but it's pretty interesting.
Coming out dry is better than going in dry.
Well,
I guess.
Speaking of going in dry, there's a new season of Hitalia.
Yes.
Yes.
And Jack, we were talking about this before the show.
Mm-hmm.
The title of the show alone,
Yes.
Hitalia, the World Twinkle.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be on Funimation. And the first thing that I noticed was that this was a show, a new season of Hitalia, that had the word twink in it.
Yes.
Now, for those of you out there on the internet that are familiar with the word twink, I will give you a second to stop giggling.
Yes.
Peter Rafe, what do you think of Hitalia, the World Twinkle?
And
what you've seen of Hitalia, whether at conventions or the show itself, what do you think? I'd really like your take on Hitalia, the World Twinkle.
It seems to be very popular. It's very well liked.
It's very popular with a certain demographic.
Yes. I don't know how closely to approach it.
Cody Byer's a huge fan.
Well,
He actually is. Not a lie.
You are the greatest, Jack. You are the absolute greatest.
He liked it. He did. He thought the dub was pretty funny, and this is broadcast dub, so I'm sorry. Continue.
Go ahead.
I don't know. There's not much for me to add. Just because like I've heard the name many times, but I haven't gotten a chance to check it out. But yeah, it does have that reputation. I do like the it says Twinkle. I didn't think of Twink. I thought of Girls' Generation Tetsuso's song Twinkle Twinkle. Twinkle not to know.
I remember a time when I used to think of the word twink, and I didn't think of Matt Pat or whatever that one guy on YouTube is with the hipster glasses. I thought of the thing from Paper Mario that the princess was helping because she was a useless piece of Peach. But no, you ruined that, internet. I can't play Paper Mario no more. Well, I can. It's my favorite video game series. But I can barely, because I get to that point and I go, great, it's the end of a chapter. I've saved something from the clutches of the evil King Koopa. Now I gotta go talk to a gay star.
Yes.
Great. Wonderful. But now we've got gay.
Better a gay star than a gay fish? I don't know.
I have to say that I'm pretty much okay with this, because at least the makers of Hitalia are aware of and are catering to their audience. And there's nothing wrong with that, because the Hitalia fan base, they like they like pretty young men, and you're gonna get a whole heaping helping of pretty young men in various representations of the nations of the world. I will admit, for a little while, I actually did think Italia was funny. I thought it was funny, and then their audience came around.
Yes.
Well, you know,
it's like an MMA. You know, it's like you want to get into it, but
yeah.
then you don't want to hang out with other MMA fans.
Or Naruto.
You know, it's geez. Well, I don't know why are you watching Naruto first off, but
I'm not.
past
Exactly.
episode 30, or past episode 1 even. I don't know. Like, people want to say it started out okay, and then it just kind of, yeah. But what I wanted to say about Hitalia is it started out. It has 2 really good seasons, and then it continues to use obscure points of history that actually happened with their characters acting it out. But the problem is that the dub has become self-aware. If you ever look at things marketed past season 3 for Hitalia, they're covered in phrases like OMG, squee, things like that. And then I'm going to say it right now. I don't mean to burn any bridges, because I think that Anime 3000 has had some contact with Jamie Marchi before, but I don't think she's very funny. And she's the narrator for a lot of the historical points of it. So she's really gone to the point where she'll take the delivery of something and read it as the most annoying Valley Girl voice you can imagine, and then add really bad impressions of the quote-unquote talented voice actors. Well, they are talented, but I mean, they're doing really bad accents because the show's built on stereotypes, but she's doing even worse impressions of them and their accents whenever she's narrating something. It's not good.
Boopity boppity. Boopity boppity.
Whoopity boppity,
Yeah.
excuse me. But so it's kind of deteriorated as far as the dub is concerned, not with the means of the whole cast, but just because there's just a little too much Jamie Marchi. But if you can handle that and you're a historian like me, I love me some drunk history, and every time that you pay 1776 at the corner market, you go, maybe you can get past it. I can't. Sometimes I'm sick of women. Sometimes I'm sick of women in my show about gay countries that I'm not shipping. I'm just laughing because they're saying Scoozy and Kraut.
Yes.
Next thing come to us from MTV, the old music television network.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this got to do with anime, David G. Majors?
Gee.
J. I said it really, really weird with the soft. I was saying it in a really bad Italian accent. Scoozy?
You're fired.
Shit.
Get off my podcast. Welcome to the Fanny Pack Anime Podcast, everybody. But seriously, though.
The clan has come together.
Too sweet, me good brother. But first, this comes to us from MTV, who is now officially posting a casting call for ages between the ages of 16 and 26 for an episode of its True Life series, and the episode will be entitled True Life, I Want to Look Anime. Yeah. And it is seeking people who have altered their style or appearance, even using permanent methods, to achieve their anime-inspired beauty quest. The True Life series is a documentary-style program that focuses on individuals in particular situations or subcultures, from embarrassing medical addictions, food addictions, former Amish, and clashes with parents. Petey Rave, are you going to have your eyelids surgically removed and submit your tape to this to be an MTV star?
No. No. But I am looking forward to this episode coming out. I'm actually I haven't watched True Life in a while, so I don't know if the quality has kept up over time, but I can definitely predict that this is going to be one to look at, and they're going to go in depth on this because the True Life series, say what you want about the quality of MTV, uh, as long as you don't bitch about them not playing music anymore, because seriously, that argument is old enough to drive. Uh, but the True Life series has historically been a quality series, so this looks like another fascinating subject matter that I'm intrigued to observe. Uh,
I will say I am especially intrigued by this because, one, I'm at an anime convention right now, so the idea of people doing things with their appearance to replicate things that they've seen from their favorite anime and what have you is really in the front of my mind. But, we've all seen these girls that are from Eastern Europe that go way out of
yeah,
hand with makeup and surgically altering themselves and like destroying their waistline or wearing corsets for such a long time that they end up having a waist size of like 22 inches.
yeah,
So I imagine that that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the ones that are going to go to the extremes. And I don't necessarily mean Yaya Han's boob implant. I mean going to the extreme of, like I mentioned, doing things with your eyelids or having makeup that goes all the way up past your eyebrows or something.
yeah.
Jack.
Okay.
Okay, SpongeBob.
No,
Oh, so
no,
I
no.
got.
Fuck off, SpongeBob.
I
Fuck
thought
off.
she went through a quick plastic surgery to look like SpongeBob.
I considered it at one point in my life when I was 7, and it was still a decent show. But wow, just coming out with all the great
The
taste
hot takes.
imitation. I'm a dick today. I deserve it. I'm a champ. So I've seen this as well, and I'm interested in seeing what the male equivalent is. But not only that, I'm also interested in seeing how the girls can get those ribbons to go through their long, impossibly long, way too long. How did you get your hair to grow that long bangs without untangling? Because if you look at the anime hairstyles that have those incorporated in them, they're not tied anywhere. They just have a ribbon going through the middle. But I did want to bring up I'm just recommending a bunch of manga today, I guess. Lucky Dogs, and now there's this. There's like a horror comedy manga called Frankenfran, and I think the other side has talked about it. So I don't know what episode it is. So I'm just plugging the other side in general. I don't know. Basically there's this girl who's like Victor Frankenstein's daughter, and she's adorable and sweet, but she does some terrible things to people's bodies, and on their request, because she wants to help them out. And there was this girl who was trying to become an up-and-coming actress, and she wanted to surgically affect her face to resemble an anime character. So they went through a really graphic process of explaining, okay, I'm going to take out some of your cartilage in your cheekbones. I'll remove part of your jaw, so then you'll have the small V shape. I'll pull back part of your eyelids.
This is what they're looking for.
This is what they're looking
probably
for. But here's the thing, is that the girl kept coming back to have more and more plastic surgery to the point where her body had to be maintained with a lot of sealant gel and a lot of things like that. So by the end, when she once neglected to use the gel, and she climbed into bed with a man who was so into dat lowly ass, she looked like a gray alien. It was pretty impressive. So I'm looking forward to the 15-minute conclusion after the commercial break where you hear "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot," because then when they come back from their commercial break of showing all the ways that people swear at the people who lied to them on Catfish, you'll come back and all these people will have their skins cracking and their hair falling out and their eyes will be glossed over and they'll be screaming, and then they'll just go to credits. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
That was fun. I like the passion part, but I'm looking forward to them getting fucked up too. That'll be great.
Team Schadenfreude.
I'm looking forward especially to the graphic surgery, because when I was a little kid, TLC was actually still the learning channel, and you could actually watch things that were educational. And my favorite show on TLC was The Operation.
What not to wear. It wasn't What Not to Wear. That's what you told me before we went on the podcast.
It was Say Yes to the Dress, Jack. Get it right.
I'm sorry. I forgot you liked that one better than Stacy London and who's his name. I'm
Say
sorry.
Yes to the Dress.
I forgot.
But what I'm most looking forward to this is the medical procedure. So where we can see the before of someone that looks actually like a human being, and then the after where we see that and the transformation. Because it just gets to the point where a lot of these people, they're not human anymore. There's just nothing remotely human about them. Like, even the way they talk and act is just removed from reality. It's even removed from anime at a certain point. Like, again, I'm at a convention, I see cosplayers, I see Lolita girls, and they'll occasionally say, "Oh," and they'll do the cute kawaii voice, "Free hugs," and then afterwards we're all done and we all move on and we all speak like actual human beings.
Yes.
And the people that are going on this show, and then those models, those European, Ukrainian models that alter themselves so significantly to look like this, they're so far removed from reality that it's... I guess my question is, who is finding that attractive? Not even the creepy otaku will find that attractive, because it's still not 2D. It's about as close to 2D as they can get, but it's still not 2D. So
pretty big disgusting.
It's you know what? Here's the thing that I never understood about this, and this is one of DJM's old sayings that I just thought of yesterday, and it's as simple as this, kids. Listen to old Uncle DJM. You can't put your D inside of 2D.
Yes.
That's if there's one thing you take away from this today, it's that David has attempted to put his D in a 3DS Japanese import cartridge of Kawaii Witch's Doki Doki Heart Race. And that's all you need to know.
Jack.
Yes.
I told you. It was a beta test of Bayonetta. She's an adult.
Right. I forgot. You're not a creep like the people we were just talking about. My apologies.
It was Bayonetta, and she's an adult.
It's Bayonetta, and she's a woman. And if you don't like women, but you like girls...
Grown-ass women being grown-ass sexy, like I talked about the last time I was on the show.
Thank you, Petey Ray.
I'll give you girls. They're in my basement. Right now.
Well, let's talk offline, Jack. Let's talk offline.
Okay.
We'll talk offline.
Hit me up on Craigslist if you want little girls. Yeah.
Now, next story, guys.
Yes.
I hate to do this, but this is actually like some real current event shit that's happening. There's an actual giant robot story coming to us from Engadget, saying that the United States has created its own Japanese-style mega robot, and they are going to challenge Japan to a mech battle. Coming to us from Engadget, two giant robots is what Apocalyptic Nightmares and Michael Bay films are made out of. But one such machine is the Megabot, a 15-foot tall bot large enough... Oh, it's got two pilots, so it's going to be all Pacific Rim and shit. It's going to have two pilots. That's awesome.
They're going to meld their minds and feel each other's emotions and live in each other's flashback sequences.
I'd like to point out, before you continue, David, I'd like to point out, we didn't need this when we had things like Big Dog and Pet Man. We didn't need to waste all this money to make this because those things are legitimately just as intimidating, if not more. Just put a person on top of it.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing about this, Jack. The United States is only doing this because Japan made a robot of their own first.
Yes.
And it's called Kuritas. It is a 12-foot robot from Japan that the founder of Megabots tells Engadget, and they are challenging Japan to a mech battle. The Gui Cavalcanti, co-founder of Megabots in America, is saying, "We're bringing video games and science fiction to life in the form of internally piloted giant fighting robots." Guys, it's happening. It's happening. Now,
Gundam.
there is, thank you, Jack.
Mhm.
There is a particular Gundam series. I actually talked about this at a panel today where we had to debate our favorite anime, and I brought up G Gundam because somebody wanted to say Gurren Lagann was the best mech series.
Okay, it's not even
Fuck
the best
that
anything
noise.
of its kind. It's not even the best poorly drawn thing. It's not even the best worst thing. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yes.
It's like a reflex. It's like a gag reflex of words and hatred and knowing what quality is. I hate you, Gynax. I hate you.
Yes.
Yes, let the Gynax hate flow.
Go to hell, Gynax. You made women. You made girls naked, and they were underage, and they were also assholes.
Yes.
A lot of them.
Good. But G Gundam, the show that did all of this better, I read this story and the next story coming up, and I saw that everything about this was literally Mobile Fighter G Gundam from 1995. You have two major countries that are about to compete for supremacy through their giant robots. This is a geopolitical... This has geopolitical ramifications. And if you think I'm kidding, if you think this story is BS, if you think this is a joke, next story from Otaku USA says, the Chinese news uses Mobile Suit Gundam as evidence of plans of a Japanese invasion.
Dear God.
So there is a news
What?
There is a news program in China called Focus Today that is run by the Chinese government that ran a segment earlier in the week that says the Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, is seeking war with the People's Republic of China.
Yes.
And the evidence that was used, bring the story up here, and the newscaster mentions all of the weapons Japan acquired from the United States, as well as weapons Japan is keeping a secret from the rest of the world. Petey, how many times have I mentioned on podcast after podcast after podcast over the years, for as long as you and I have known each other, how many times have I mentioned my certainty that Japan has mechs somewhere underground ready to go to battle? How many times have I said this?
I don't know.
5.
A lot.
Yes, I have. And again, clearly China is onto something. So not only is this the United States, not only is this Japan, it's also China, and there's 1 billion people in the People's Republic of China.
I have one question,
Guys.
David. I have one question, though. If this is going to end in all-out warfare because China did something stupid and frightened, how long till Baymax? How long, David? We'll need that on the sidelines when people are in the midst of mech warfare. We'll need adorable plush inflatable bots with tiny Japanese San Francisco kids right beside them to administer health care. God damn it, David. This needs to happen.
Well, Jack, I think this is an appropriate time to announce PD&I's brand new project, the Fanny Pack Mecha Wrestling Corporation. PD&I are going to be the bookers of the brand new Mecha wrestling promotion. I'll be providing commentary, so you guys can all come to the Joe Louis Arena in October in Detroit and see mechs from all over the world, full-sized 12, 15, 20-foot mechs from all over the world competing for supremacy. I'll be promoting, I'll be doing the commentary, I'll be booking, and you'll be able to get your mech battle on, family-friendly, at a reasonable price. And
Kids under 12 get in free. We offer complimentary splash guards.
And there will be Cosplayer Thursday. And on Thursdays, cosplayers get in free.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I'll bring my Aegis cosplay from Persona 3. I want to point out that we do have a chat, and the chat is saying some interesting things, such as One Eye sees in 3D, that beautiful bastard, telling us, you guys should have a segment about what stupid stuff China's doing in regards to anime. This is likely because we keep calling anime Chinese cartoons. First of all, I don't think that's happened since 1998, because then the world started getting mad about being politically correct, and then it was all downhill from there, because then they added triggers to it. And secondly, we don't have all day to make a podcast, One Eye. We don't have that much time to go through everything that China's doing. We don't. There's just not enough time to explain all of it. But thank you.
There's a billion of them.
Yeah,
One Eye in 3D. If you would like to cover China, go ahead and send word over to Sean Russell, and we'll see what he thinks about the pitch. So go ahead, One Eye in 3D. Make that happen. We're always looking for more content, and we're always looking for more content exclusive to our Patreon subscribers at patreon.com/anime3000.
Give us that footage in 3D.
It would be greatly appreciated. But guys, this story really had me inspired. No secret, I have enjoyed the pleasure of Mobile Fighter G Gundam, so I'm going to ask you, we're going to throw this one around, and please, if you're in the chat room, if you're out there on the Twitter, join the conversation, use the hashtag A3K Jack D, the question that I'm going to pose to you in light of these stories and the potential of the Gundam fight, I'm going to ask you, which country, pick one, do you think would compete in this Gundam competition, since China, US, and Japan are already covered? Think of a nation that would compete in this, and what would their Gundam look like? Jay Quellen.
All right, you know what? I've got this. You think I'm going to say something easy, like America, but I've got a couple. I've got a couple unlikely supporters of this. Some people who probably don't have the resources to spend, given where they are in the world financially, socially, economically. But I have a feeling that Greece is going to come out of nowhere from its near bankruptcy with a gigantic Zeus mech. And not only that, it'll be wielding one of the pillars from the Colosseum with a lion shield on the other side, made of slab and granite.
Ooh.
You could also expect maybe a gigantic Scotland mech with a gigantic metal kilt made entirely out of brushed metal of different various types and colors and resonances. So you can have a nice little a copper belt to hold up your metallic kilt, and those will sell really well, because then you can use the surplus to make that for the rest of the country to wear in support of the giant robot. That'll be great.
Jack,
a lot of copper will be used, I think.
I'm going to throw one at you for Scotland.
Yes.
They should have some kind of sound wave-based weapon in the form of bagpipes.
You know what? Bagpipes would be great. And also, if they had maybe a speaker on the shoulders each to amplify that, and occasionally throw in a sound bite from a soundboard in the cockpit. They can have a soundboard, very much like much audio mixing equipment, of various quotes from Braveheart. That would that'd be wonderful. And finally, for my last suggestion,
I would prefer.
Yes.
I would add some quotes from Roddy McStew of Freakazoid.
That would be wonderful. Oh my gosh, that'd be excellent. And have maybe a unicorn involved, because let's be honest with ourselves, Scotland has a fucking unicorn on this. Scotland chose a unicorn and a thistle as their official animal and official flower. But finally, I want to tell you guys something. I have a feeling that if this happens and America gets involved, I don't think that Canada's going to take that sitting down, because Canada's been on the sideline for too fucking long. They've been going to ourselves, okay, we've saved a lot of money, we have free healthcare, we have milk in bags, we're doing really excellent in a really weird dystopian 1986 kind of way. You know what we need to do? We need to make ourselves a gigantic hockey player. It'll be a huge hockey Gundam, and it'll be wonderful. And it'll have flight capability, and the wings will be made out of these different articulating parts of gigantic hockey. I'm sorry, I'm losing it. And potentially have a mask to intimidate its competitors that resembles the Mighty Ducks. You might
would this hockey mech have like puck-based projectiles?
Puck-based projectiles, I think. I believe that it'll be a requirement of the law for any pilots to be dressed and resemble the children from Are You Afraid of the Dark? And also to have Komeo somewhere in their name. Other than that, it would be potentially, they'll have some sort of a trans-dimensional a cannon that when they defeat their enemies, that they will also transmit this large interdimensional shockwave, which Ayla Scott Pilgrim will literally allow them to turn their defeated enemies into loonies and toonies. So that's my pick. We have three unlikely contenders, the dark horses, if you will, of the gigantic worldwide conquest. Greece, Scotland, and Canada. And if you really want to get crazy, potentially Russia. But I'm not going to get into that because there's not enough Cuban Missile Crisis jokes for me to make for that. So I want to hear what Petey has to say.
And speaking of Cuban Missile Crises, I'd like to ask you, Petey, the Miami native, just to get your first take, as it was just mentioned, I want you to tell me, and maybe possibly get a thought from your mom as well. I believe she's from the island originally. What would you think that Cuba could possibly play a factor in this global mech Clash of the Titans? And then give me your possible country of choice that could throw their hat into the proverbial ring.
So
before we do this, I'm sorry, one more. I got One Eye Season 3D real quick before the chat scrolls up. I apologize, Petey. I want to hear this about Cuba and everything. But we have One Eye Season 3D with his contender, France, the croissant. He misspelled it, but that's okay. I only told that he misspelled it over the live internet, so sorry about that, One Eye, but he did misspell it. It's Croissant. But the Croissant Gundam from France, wielding breadsticks with the special power to be really rude to the American Gundam. Thank you. And I'm thinking wine will play a factor. It will run on wine, so it's environmentally friendly. I would like the Croissant Gundam to have a beret.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say, well, one thing on the Canadian one, another alternate uniform for the Canadian Gundam pilot, the kimono from the back of 2112 with the mustache.
We'll have to have a beard from like Harley's in Epic Mealtime.
So the Cuban one.
The Canadian mech armor will be flannel.
Yes, of course. The Cuban one, of course, it will be a giant mech guayabera. The kind of the guayabera shirt, the ones with the things right down there. They'll wield Cuban coffee as their kind of they'll shoot kind of like water pistol, but it'll be Cuban coffee. It'll be scalding hot.
Cigar missiles.
Cigars. There's the cigars. They will always show up to the battle about an hour late. They work on Cuban time. And I think that's about it. There's a lot more quirks that I can't think of any more Cuban stereotypes. So I live here. I will say another contender. Of course, as considering I'm of the K-pop podcast, I will bring up Daehamingu, Republic of Korea, South Korea, as it were.
I was going to say We could go another hour on what kind of mech North Korea could come up with, because we don't know. We could just come up with whatever. We don't know.
Yeah, the only
It's
thing
a
we know
giant
is that
James
it'll
Franco
fall
Seth
apart
Rogen
seconds
hybrid.
after launch. No, it'll fall apart seconds after launching. That's all we know. But
It'll
that's
be a fusion like Aquarian of Seth Rogen mech and James Franco mech.
Yeah.
Ah!
We already talked about the Yowie Jack.
So extra unfunny. But the South Korean mech would be threaded in Supreme or Boy London attire. Would be could shoot soju all up in their place. Would constantly be trying to invite you out to drink, to drinking gatherings and drinking hangouts. We'll shoot jajangmyeon projectiles, and I don't know what else.
Petey, just to throw this one at you, just throwing ideas out there. Would the South Korean Gundam have sort of a suicide attack that would essentially just bring out a giant fan? I think that would be the suicide attack of the giant Korean Gundam, where it would just have a giant fan blowing, and somehow mysteriously the South Korean Gundam and the other pilot would be, and its opponent would be obliterated. The fan attack.
Yes. The fan death attack, which would be fun, wonderful. It's who else would be up in there? The Russia one would be nothing but vodka and do all the moves that Alice Kozlov did.
See, I don't think Russia would need a Gundam because Vladimir Putin would just get in the ring himself.
Oh, that's fair enough.
I mean, he did make that militarized Disneyland, so he can do whatever he goddamn well wants. As long as he's got a soda bottle in his hand, he can do anything.
Yes.
I'm not going to
punch out joke.
I'm not going to say anything mean about Vladimir Putin because he terrifies me.
Also, the special move for the Korean Gundam is the drama wrist grab, the dramatic wrist grab.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
my god.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh, that is fantastic. I would hope that if the Korean Gundam does win a match, that the Gundam is able to do a really great, elaborate dance sequence. I really hope that would happen. And that the Korean Gundam has a hat, but it is always to the side, no matter what. And it has something inscribed in English lettering that makes no sense at all.
I have one question. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead,
I just want to ask,
Jack.
who will be tasked with piloting each of these mechs? I mean, I want to think about this long and hard, because you'd probably think to yourself off the top of your head, naturally, we send Obama, but I'd like to ask you guys, let's not do what they always do and make the obvious mistake of sending teenagers who are moody and cry and have daddy issues.
I'll do it.
Don't do it. David wants to do it. I'm also asking, maybe not the president, but maybe Michelle Obama.
Yes.
Michelle Obama would be great.
She could kick some ass, and then you get your titillation, folks, because Michelle Obama is pretty attractive. You know?
She is.
Get her a nice mech suit.
I'd like to officially make my pitch to be the pilot for America's Mech. I have prior military experience. I was in the Air Force for 4 years, honorably discharged. Also, I do have an appreciation for the mech genre in all its ills. And also, my daddy issues have been resolved, and I'm not a teenager. I'm an adult. I'm a full, grown-ass man who only acts like a kid most of the time at anime conventions. But otherwise, I think I could handle piloting our country's robot. On this, the 4th of July, I offer my services to the United States of America, or the Netherlands, if they let me live there, to pilot our country's mech. I will do that for America. I will. I will sacrifice myself for our great land, unless the Netherlands will call. But my choice is not the Netherlands, the country that I'm choosing to go to when America finally goes to in the shitter. It is actually Brazil.
Good one.
And Brazil will pilot the Carnival Gundam. And they will have the most insane, elaborate entrance music into the arena. It will be a giant carnival with all sorts of music and craziness and girls that are really, really attractive but won't actually do anything with you because they're super, super Catholic. But their weapons, well, the main one obviously will be a light-speed soccer ball. Of course, because it's Brazil. The light-speed soccer ball, also green and yellow, and also all of the electronic equipment inside of the Brazilian Gundam will cost roughly 3 times as much as it would cost anywhere else because shipping there really, really sucks. But yes, my choice would be the Brazil. My choice would be Brazil, and it would be the Carnival Gundam. And
Yes.
it would, if nothing else, it would be the most aesthetically pleasing Gundam because it would be majestic and all sorts of wonderful things.
I would say with the Brazilian one, either the electronics would be extremely expensive because of the the added taxes, or they would all be bought at my Best Buy down here and shipped over.
Well, now
they would show up one at a time. Do you have a flat screen monitor? Play 3? Do you have Play 4?
How is your Portuguese, Pedro?
Non-existent. I'm sitting here occasionally trying to learn some Korean, but I really should be learning some Portuguese. God damn it.
I used to know how to say beer, and that was all I thought I needed. But now I need to know how to say giant robot.
Yeah, I do have the experience of somebody coming up to me and asking if I speak Spanish, me confirming, and then proceeding to speak in Portuguese. As I've said before. I was like, okay, where did the disconnect happen here? I could have sworn you asked me if I spoke Spanish. So it's like...
last I heard you do.
Yes. However, I don't speak Portuguese.
For those of you who are terrified of Vladimir Putin, like David is, I almost want to call him Vladimir Poutine.
Yes.
Because I also helped celebrate with a friend for Canada Day because Skype. But I shouldn't say that because he could be listening. But you know what? Maybe I'll defect. Maybe I'll defect to Russia. And if I do, I want you guys to know, cheat code, the word for robot in Russian is simply robot. So if you want to pilot a giant robot and defect to Russia like me in a couple of weeks, if I'm not here, you'll know what happened. They got me. Just, look in the news for robot and ask for robot, and you can get robot.
Robot arms.
Robot.
Guys, thanks for coming on. PD Rave, you do your podcasts in English. Do you do any Spanish podcasts?
No, not at the moment.
But maybe you should, and maybe we can find all of your other stuff at the Rebelli Podcast Network. Tell us all about it.
Mm-hmm. Rebelli.net for all the shows. Of course, they do Halijuku, which is the East Asian pop culture website. East Asian pop culture podcast. K-pop, J-pop, mostly K-pop, mostly Korean dramas. We're trying to expand our palette, but it's mostly just me and Kaz sitting down, shooting the shit, as it were, about East Asian pop culture. Of course, Record Breakers, the book club for music, and pretty soon, we're gonna get the wheels going for it. Pretty soon, season 5 of the Fanny Pack Wrestling podcast. On Rebelli.net, on DiamondClub.tv, and of course on the freaking awesome network, all over there. So look out for that. Look out for news on that. Those will be live shows, and those are going to be fantastic. It's going to be fun to get that going again. But yeah, about.me/PDRave for all my podcast stuff and all my own stuff. So, yeah, you can check that out all there.
Awesome. Also, what have you been up to since I've been out doing convention stuff, Petey? It's been a little bit since we've talked. What have you been up to?
Get
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. What I've been up to. First of all, last week I was at Florida SuperCon. I hung out with the boss. Hung out with our head senpai here at the Anime 3000, Sean Russell. We had a fantastic little Anime 3000 panel at Florida SuperCon.
Did you
Played.
touch his beard?
No, I did not.
Oh,
But we
disappointed.
hang out in the same vicinity. I did get to witness Mr. Russell mode in person. When he was all full teacher mode, and it was fantastic. Sean Russell when he's on is awesome. And it was a fun panel. We played games, gave out prizes. And if anybody is here from and was there, I hope you had a great time. Let me know. And yeah, it was a good time at the Anime 3000 panel. I'm hoping we repped well. We repped the team well, Sean and I. Aside from that, what I've been dotting. I can tell you, a lot of the same stuff that I mentioned last time. I can tell you one thing that I've been dotting, and a couple of things that I will be dotting. Knights of Sidonia season 2 just dropped on Netflix, and I'm definitely going to be checking that out because I enjoyed season 1. So I'm looking forward to that. I will say on Netflix as well is a show that caught my attention just on like the logo alone, I guess, and just on reading the premise. Gargantia on the Verdurous Planet.
Oh
guys seen this show?
yes, Petey. This
What?
was like my #1 show anime of 2013.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
I give Gargantia on the Verdurous Planet 5 stars. I cannot recommend that show highly enough.
it sounds very raunchy and questionable,
Nope.
but
but it is not.
okay,
It is
I'm
actually a really
glad.
cool premise. So
It
is
was my favorite anime of 2013.
2013, terrible year. Good job. You made Gargantia. It was
yes.
a really sad year.
That show was a shining light. It was a
Good.
shining light.
Yeah, it's a great premise. It works well. Like the kind of I liked the fact that it didn't go full on. The central premise is very easy to read the premise and think like, oh, it's just another fish out of water, a show where it's like the alien guy here on Earth. But there's some interesting world building, hashtag interesting world building that goes along with the show. And I think that it really works well, and I'm definitely enjoying what I've seen of it, and I'm looking forward to checking it out more. I also, because you know what, it has to happen. I finally, at some point recently, dipped my toe into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I watched the first episode.
Take a drink. Take a drink, everybody at home. Take a drink. Take a drink. USA.
Yes.
Yes.
I only watched the first episode, and it was fantastic. The people don't need to be told, but in case if you don't know, you should know. The first episode, spoilers. Dio literally kicks the dog. The moment that Dio literally kicks the dog, I was like, "All right then." All right
This
then.
is gonna be one of those kinds of shows, by which I mean I've never seen a show do this right out of the box.
Yes.
Talk about getting heel heat right out the gate.
Yeah, exactly. Invoking a trope
love-
almost literally. A show that invokes a trope that literally to the name on tvtropes.org is just a show that I'm looking forward to checking out. And what I figure I'm gonna make my thing whenever I'm on A3K is I'll recommend a K drama for you all to check out. One that I've checked out, decided to rewatch recently. One that I love thoroughly with all my heart. One that I just realized was on Netflix as well, in addition to Hulu Plus and Drama Fever. It's Okay, That's Love. It's Okay, That's Love.
Sounds like an R&B song.
It sounds a
Yes.
little bit like an excuse for why you manslaughtered your ex's new boyfriend. It's okay. That's love. That's why I did it. It was just because, and that's not a specific thing that's happened to anybody that I personally know or have personally experienced. I'm just saying.
That's
Just
at
saying.
Jack.
That's love.
At Jack D. Tyler D. on Twitter.
Yeah, the premise that is written is a successful, if a bit troubled psychiatrist, doing well in her career, and a famous author slash radio DJ with OCD meet as part of the work, and they slowly fall in love. And it seems like an empty premise, but it actually does work well. It's actually romantic. It's also sweet, funny, emotional, and the biggest thing is that it humanizes mental illness so well. That's the biggest thing about that show, is that it does such a good job of humanizing mental illness. I won't spoil why, but how it progresses and the oh, this is what's really happening aspect that you get like well into the show. It's only one season. Well into the show, it's made so well. It, it is just a fantastic show. Check it out. It's Okay, That's Love. It's on Netflix, Hulu Plus, Drama Fever. It's a show that I love and wholly recommend. But yeah, that's what I've been checking out, what I've been consuming, or dotting.
All right, Petey. Thank you very much. Jay Quellen, Jack D. By all means, Jack, you have the floor.
All right, folks. Here's what went down, you cocksucking pussies. Edit that out, Dave.
Whoa!
Jesus. I'm really happy about what happened. Oh, God. There was a thing. I'm really surprised you didn't mute me. There's a thing called Solano College Tourney 2015. It's been going on for, apparently it's been going on for maybe 6 years. I've only gone to it maybe 2. I got my ass whooped last year, and this year was different. They had MKX for all of you people who just like new shiny things. They had Super Smash Bros. Melee for all of you who don't like fighting games. And they had a plethora of games that I happen to be good at.
You're on thin ice.
I know. I'm just saying, why would you pick the game that's literally 90% clones when you can pick the game where multiple people can play and is actually generally fun, even though it tried really hard to cater to you, trying to make it a fighting game? Yeah, you know, interesting. Also, why don't you just play with items? Do you hate fun? You think you're better than me, don't you? Well, guess what? You're not better than me because I went through Guilty Gear Xrd tournament, and I did not go pretty far because Guilty Gear XX is my game, Accent Core plus R. I wasn't really used to... They're actually technically old mechanics because that game's a little bit more classic. It's more like... I've heard it being compared to actually the original Dreamcast Guilty Gear. So I tried running Leo Whitefang, a new character. Got my ass pretty cleanly wiped with a 2-0 against me there, and then on my next couple of rounds, I did Faust, won, lost, and then I was eliminated because it was double elimination. They didn't have Darkstalkers, which made me really sad, and I missed the Arcana Heart tournament, even though that's probably the only one that I'm only real modern game, besides a few that I'll get into that I'm pretty good at, but I missed it. Also, there wasn't a very large bracket, I was told, so they almost canceled and just went to top 4. So, you know, it was not going to be an even bracket if I went in anyway, but I missed it because I had to eat, because it lasted all day. You can look at my live tweets that I had at the hashtag SCT2015. Sadly, there was no stream, but there was a schlubfest of folks who decided to try their luck at Skullgirls, the easiest fighting game in the world to learn because every single button, every single super, every single input is almost identical to one another. There's identical sweeps. It's just heavy punch down or heavy kick down, and then usually your launch will either be standing heavy kick or standing heavy punch. So basically, a child could learn how to win at this game. I picked it up and started doing nightmare mode in about an hour's worth of playing it. So, and it showed because we played Skullgirls Encore as the tournament went on, and I got into winners finals with my Valentine Beowulf team, and then was promptly shut down by a guy who apparently went to all of Mike Z's updates in. I don't know where it is specifically, but it's somewhere up in down in Southern California, and I'm in Northern California, so I can't actually go to those and learn how the game physically works on the software. So, you know, I was at a disadvantage, but winners finals, that's not too bad. But this is what happened. It made the whole time. I had a little bit of a hairy climb to victory. My first shot out of the box in Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma. Chrono Phantasma, not Chrono Phantasma Extend. We don't need 2 extra useless waifus, thank you very much, that have no bearing on the story no more.
Are they busty waifus or non-busty waifus?
No, they're not. They're Lambda, who is the clone of Nu, and then it's Celica, who literally does not fight anywhere in the story in any of the light novels. She's literally a nun, and it's dumb. It's dumb, okay? She's basically like Carl Clover plus Relius, and it's dumb. So we did the right thing. We went with the correct choice. We played Chrono Phantasma Vanilla, okay? Because we also don't need that girly-ass remix heart story mode from the ecchi-as-hell Blaze Blue spin-off manga. That is not a real thing. I refuse to acknowledge its presence only to say that it doesn't exist. So I'll directly refer to it here just to say it's not real. So there you go. That doesn't exist. There's no such thing. What are we talking about? Oh, right. So I go out. My main homeboy, Hazama. Oh, dang. Going in there, trolling everybody. I wore this green wig because I'm a salty motherfucker. I go in, all in. I wear my hats. I cosplay. I strike fear in the hearts of everybody. Professor Jack D going in, all in. I lost first round. But the rest of the time, I won. And I went straight to the top. I came back from losers finals. Got to the grand finals. 3 out of 5. 3-0, baby. 3-0. You're welcome. You're welcome, Internet. I mean, you're not welcome because you can't see it. But next year, I'm going to bust their balls. I'm going to make sure they get that stuff done. Other than that excellent, excellent championship, taking home the gold there, my father, who is internet illiterate, I should say, because he is 78 years old, he actually came up to me and said, "Hey, check out this thing I found. It's called Epic Mealtime." What's Epic Mealtime? It's basically how he cooks, only at maybe ×2 scale. That's literally correct. If you know anything about Epic Mealtime, which I now know, you will find the fact that my father makes half sizes of those kinds of meals very terrifying. And then I was kind of looking forward to having Andrew on the show. Sorry, Petey. I'm just kidding. I'm glad you're on. But I've been playing some really terrible dating sims. And look forward to me talking about those on potentially a bonus round or something special on the Anime 3000 network, because I think I've earned it. And please, 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 God, stop. I know you're tempted now to send me links or to things to search for more terrible dating sims, but it's not funny anymore. You know the things I've been tweeting on the Twitter that have been funny, like, oh, he looks like Hank Hill and Alexander Anderson. And he's saying things that Frank West says. He's literally Frank West. I'm gonna call him Frank Hill. It's not that funny anymore. I haven't been tweeting because some terrible things have come up now. So thank you, Andrew Erickson at Big Mean Giraffe on Twitter, and thank you for a lot of people that I will keep anonymous because I'm worried about you for the things you've sent me. I'm genuinely concerned why you know about these things. Please, 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 do not direct message me on Twitter. Do not send me any more things to play. I'm content with what I found, okay? I've
Jack
got
D
like
is a
three
dating sim.
innocuous ones. I've got like 3 innocuous ones and 5 terrible, terrible things. Please stop. Please stop. I'm asking you nicely.
Just send them to me at PD Rave. Just send them to me. I'll play them.
I'm fully expecting people to still send them. I know it doesn't matter. Now that they've got a reaction out of me, I think they're gonna keep sending. Shit.
Just send them to me. I'll play them on Twitch even.
Dear God.
That's
There you go.
PD as in Williams, Rave as in Jimmy. Guys,
All in one word.
it's no secret, I like to go to far too many conventions for my own good. Last week, I was at Indie PopCon in Indianapolis, Indiana, helping my friend Desiree Larson at Nozomi Neko with her Artist Alley booth. Suffice to say, this convention did not go very well. Her phone cracked. Our mutual friend, Lily Inverse, my co-host on the Nashi Anime podcast,
Really?
she lost her wallet and her phone, and I had a fairly questionable run-in with some feminist man-haters, but I won them over because I'm DJM, and that's what I do. I'm just the upstanding gentleman that you've grown to know and love. However, this week I am at Anime Midwest in suburban Chicago, and I realized something. It has dawned upon me. Going from one kind of generic nerd con of no real consequence to what I'm essentially calling the ASEN after party, the after party for Anime Central here in Chicago, I have realized something. For as much as Anna Twitter likes to talk shit, and as much as so many people in the world of anime podcasting and anime blogging and anime news writing likes to do nothing but self-loathing and self-hating and finger-pointing, at the end of the day, coming to this anime convention, I have realized you fucking weebs are my people, and I love you with all of my heart. Damn, it feels good to be at an anime convention again. It feels great. After being at a nerd convention that had almost no kind of anime stuff at all, where there was only just kind of generic, formless, pop culture nerd stuff of no real consequence, being around anime fans, video games, and actually having a passion for one specific thing that I enjoy myself, it felt great. And Lily is here too, and she's already said that in one day, she and her folks at Lily Inverse Designs have already made more here in one day that they made as a whole at Indie PopCon in Indianapolis. So, Anime Midwest, you have been fun, you have been good. I got to take a picture with a cross-dressing dark magician girl from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Holy shit! That's amazing! So, let me get this straight. It was a guy cross-dressing dark magician girl, or was it a girl
Yes.
cross-dress? Okay, because I'm thinking to myself, that would make multiple levels deep of gender confusion if it were a girl cross-dressing a male version of dark magician girl, which I have seen. It's
I
weird.
tweeted it out. I tweeted it out at Anime3000 on Twitter.
There you go.
Where it was myself and this gentleman cross-playing, if you will, as the Dark Magician Girl. And
Beautiful.
I said, dude, you do you. Go for it. And damn it, Jack, I don't care. I love you fucking weebs. I do. I do. I truly do. If you have a free hug sign at a convention, here I come. Because I love you guys. You're all great. And I love you with all my heart.
We're celebrating on the birthday of America people who pretend that they're Japanese. But you know what? That's okay, because you're still a part of America in all of its blind stupidity, in all of its idiocy, in all of its shortcomings, in all of our lack of control in several things, both serious and benign and innocuous, of all the people who whine, of all the people who should do things when they're just sitting on their couches eating Doritos. We still respect you because, god damn it, this country rocks. Thank you so much for being annoyed. We appreciate it. Even you, Seth MacFarlane, because you write some decent music when you try.
Yeah.
You do. And you made an interesting dance number at the beginning of Ted 2. I didn't see that.
Too bad he never has to try anymore.
And just to wrap up, I can't think of a better way to celebrate our nation's birthday than at a convention that celebrates entertainment and pop culture from Japan. I can't think of a better place.
I'll drink to
Jack
that.
T.
Hey, yeah.
Jack, take it home.
Thank you so much, David. You can find me at Jack D. Tyler D on Twitter. Don't send me anything. Just say hi. Okay? Just say hi. You know what? If you want to send me something, send me a suggestion of things to draw. Alright? I'll do that. Because I realize something. I realize y'all must be realizing it's been a couple of weeks. I haven't been doing a speed draw lately because some things have come up. I'm trying to deal with some financial things. You know how it is, life. But I'm actually working on a little something in the meantime. I wasn't just not making videos. I'm still doing Let's Play Professor Layton on YouTube at Yoshi Star Spirit, youtube.com/Yoshi Star Spirit. YouTube. I've tried 18 times now. Where's my custom URL? Where is it? Why do you do this to me? Do you hate me? Either way. Besides that, I have been working on something else for YouTube, kind of a mockumentary, I guess, because I've got a really good friend that's been doing some stuff, and he did a really interesting LB Rain documentary. If you want to check it out at Homestar Runner Tron on YouTube, he did a really, really interesting documentary that just went public. It's very cool. It's for the new Terminator movie. There was a music video with LB Rain, very 1980s inspired. Excellent, excellent stuff. That's Homestar Runner Tron. Excellent, brilliant guy. Better than most of the videos I could do. But I thought to myself, I'm going to give it a try, and I'm just going to, I don't know, show off the library that I work at, maybe talk a little bit about my love for JoJo, do something that's basically the opposite of a documentary, because documentaries have purpose. But you can see the progress for that. You can see some drawings. You can see me bragging about how well that the comic is finally going at Jack D. Tyler D on Twitter. Mechanical Symphonies at Tumblr.com. You can ask me to draw you something for 5 smackers at Fiverr, Jack D. Tyler D. I'll be quickly adding. I say quickly, but it'll probably take a while. I'll be adding indefinitely a chance for you to send me your photo and tell me your favorite fighting game character from any franchise, even Smash, even though I won't actually officially recognize it as a fighting game, and I'll draw you as your main. I will. It'll be full color, my signature on it, nice clean line art, all that good stuff. And you'll get it real quickly, within a week, usually within a couple of days. Other than that, take it away, David.
Yes, Jack. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for listening to the A3K podcast in podcast form, or watching it live on the YouTubes or on demand at A3K TV. My name is David Majors. Most importantly, I would really appreciate it if you were to check out the Anime 3000 Patreon page at patreon.com/anime3000, where our boss and general manager, Sean Russell, has plenty of things that he'd like to offer to all of you out there if you were to generously support our fine, fine network. So once again, that is patreon.com/anime3000. Me? You don't have to do anything for me. I'm good. I'm good. You know what? I take that back. Guys, do me a favor. My friend Desi, Nozomi Neko, check out her stuff on DeviantArt. Do that for me. Nozomi Neko. Nozomi, Neko, Neko. Check out her DeviantArt. Follow her on Twitter. She's great. She's cool. She's cooler than the other side of the pillow. That's Nozomi Neko. Check out her stuff. Send her some support. And once again, thank you all for listening to the A3K podcast. We are recorded live Saturday evenings at A3K TV on YouTube. We are available in audio podcast form in iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and wherever else RSS feeds can be picked up. go ahead and download the show. Leave us a 5 stars. You don't have to write a review. Nobody reads those anyway. Just give us a 5 stars, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, wherever that may be. We'd really appreciate it. Anime3000.com. Follow us on Twitter at Anime3000, Facebook.com/Anime3000. Also, brand new, courtesy of Jameer Durham from Two Guys and a Mic, A3K Radio. Go over to Anime3000.com. Check out the radio link and listen to Anime3000's streaming media station. For Jack D, for my brother Petey Ray, this is David Majors, also known as DJM. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.
Please don't send me Sunset King of Rise 3. I don't want that. Please. You said social justice when describing it. Please, God, no. I'm begging you.